Hello everyone. Alright, it's time for my third video game review. This time I'll be reviewing Black Isle Studios' Planescape Torment. Simply put, this is a masterpiece of gaming. Now before I get into the details here, I would like to recap on my Baldur's Gate 2 review. Just for your information, I gave it 35 out of 35. Perfect score. Only minor quibbles with it. Also, I said that the music was composed by Jeremy Soule. I was wrong, it was Michael Hainick. Alright, now for Planescape Torment. Number 1, the gameplay. The gameplay here is pretty good. Not as smooth, not as good as Baldur's Gate gameplay, and I don't really like what they did with the Infinity Engine in terms of the interaction and the interface. So I'm going to have to dock at one point because it's a little too clunky. You have to click a lot to do what you want. There's no auto pause. It's a little clunky. So I give it 4 out of 5. Number 2, the plot. This is one of the best plots ever. First, let's talk about the setting. This is set in the Planescape universe. The Planescape universe was a universe devised so that all of the various universes invented in D&D games could all come together at one central point. The setting of Planescape is Sigil, a city that is basically at the center of the universe. All the universes, the center of this multiverse. So it's at sort of a crossroads, so that all sorts of beings and creatures and locations can come into the city, but also everywhere there is a portal that leads somewhere in this vast multiverse. Here is where our story takes place. You are a Frankenstein-like being who wakes up in a mortuary and discovered that you have died many times and cannot seem to stay dead. Your only clues are things written on your body, kind of like in Memento. And you must find out who you are, how you got there, how you fit in this crazy world, and who took your mortality from you. That is the beginning of this excellent game. This is a very brilliant plot with all sorts of interesting ideas, fascinating twists and turns, and a fantastic universe it's set in. So I give the plot 5 out of 5. Number 3, the characters. These characters are some of the best I have ever encountered in any game. You can talk with them whenever you want. They all have interesting backstories. They all have things to teach you. They all can help you become more powerful. And they all are relevant and interesting to this story. So I give the characters 5 out of 5. Number 4, the thought. The depth and complexity to this game are staggering. This game is ahead of its time. That's probably why the game engine suffers. This is such an ambitious and brilliant game that the game engines of the late 90s could not support this vision. The thought here is brilliant, the complexity. The major question it asks, what can change the nature of a man? It's an absolutely brilliant question because it is one that we can ask ourselves in real life. Also, the thoughts being presented, the characters are deep and interesting, and you always wonder about their motivations. Very Shakespearean in a way. They're not one-dimensional characters. They're all incredibly three-dimensional. So I give the thought, which is the complexity or depth, 5 out of 5. The diction, the script. This is one of the best scripts I have ever read or experienced in any game, even rivaling stuff in novels. Now I'm going to have to dock it half a point because it is incredibly long. This involves a lot of reading, which is problematic in a game like this, but also the fact that this game is so ahead of its time, that was really the only way at the time to interact. But it's such a brilliant script that I can't take 1 point off, because it just wouldn't seem right. This is a brilliant script. It requires a lot of reading, which sometimes detracts from the game itself, but it's not bad enough to destroy anything. In fact, it's so good that it is unparalleled, except perhaps by Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2: The Sith Lords, but I'll review that one later. So I give the script 4.5 out of 5. Number 6, the melody. Does the game flow? Flows very well. It's such a strange game that pretty much anything that comes along doesn't jar you too much, and everything flows well. You travel all sorts of crazy places, and it's so brilliantly structured. So I give that 5 out of 5. 7, and lastly, the spectacle. I give the spectacle 5 out of 5. And I wanted to say that right away, because visually, musically, and just, this is such a brilliant game. Even though it's 1999 graphics, the backgrounds are so well constructed and painted and fascinating looking. Wherever you go, everything looks strange and new, and it's stuff you've never seen before. Also, the music is absolutely brilliant, very strange. The music is very steampunk, which the game is sort of a combination of steampunk meets Dr. Seuss meets D&D. It's absolutely brilliant. Just the visuals, the sounds, the music is just so incredible. Spectacle, again, gets 5 out of 5, bringing the total of this game to 33.5 out of 35. This is an excellent game. If you haven't played it, I would highly recommend it. It is one of the greatest achievements out there. And that's my review of Black Isle Studios' Planescape Torment. Thanks. Bye.